Thanks for joining us. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors says it will begin an indefinite nationwide strike on November 1st, 2025. The association made this known in a statement on Sunday through its president, Mohammed Suleiman. The decision, which was taken by the doctors after a 5-hour meeting of the association's National Executive Council on Saturday, follows the expiration of a 30-day ultimatum earlier given to the federal government over unresolved demands. Well, for more on the resident doctors' planned strike, joining me now in the studio is the president of the association, that is the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, Mohammed Suleiman. Mohammed, very warm welcome to Newsnight.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, this again leaves a lot of ashes in the mouths of the ordinary Nigerian or Nigerians generally. It's one strike too many, and of course the consequences of resident doctors. You're like the engine room of the medical profession in Nigeria, and you're going on strike again. Is it not one strike too many? Let's start from there.
Thank you very much. I love that we're prioritizing this at the top of the conversation. The last time that NAD went on strike because of agitations we had with government that took this dimension is over 2 tenures ago. So 2 past presidents before me have not engaged in strike action as an option for solving this impasse in our unmet demands. But 2 weeks before I came into office, there was a warning strike that was supposed to last 5 days, lasted only 48 hours, was suspended. A 2 weeks ultimatum was issued that ended in the AGM that elected me as president. That AGM said, okay, let's give the government another 30 days, 2 weeks plus 30 days. That expired today. Unfortunately, after the 30 days, it was on day 26 that we had a 1-hour conversation with people who are supposed to sort out these problems. And what are these problems?
Who are these people that are supposed to sort out the problems?
The Federal Ministry of
Health.
The Federal Ministry of Health.
Yes.
There are issues that also border on Ministry of Labor, IPPIS under the Office of the Head of Service, and then the Ministry of Finance.
So this strike is solely informed by your salaries, your pay?
No, not only salaries.
What
We have 5 doctors who have been unjustly dismissed, terminated from Federal Teaching Hospital Lokoja. We are asking that they be reinstated. We also have issues of our membership certificate. When you pass an exam and you become a senior registrar, there's a certification called membership certificate. A few years back, it was at a status recognizing you as a specialist in training. For some reason, government thought it wise to devalue that certificate and put it at a class lower than that recognition of your specialist skill. Career progression is also very important.
Was there a committee that did that? I mean, where is the
there's a postgraduate college that monitors and oversees exams,
Sure.
And there's a medical and dental council. The postgraduate college informs the council, this is where we want you to put this certificate. Unfortunately, they did not categorize other certificates that are on this level, coming from foreign countries at the lower level that we are now. Now, let me give you an instance. If you pass part 1 in Nigeria, you take the certificate, you go to Ghana, you are recognized as a specialist. You go to Liberia, you are recognized as a specialist. Because it's the same body organizing the same exams. But in Nigeria, you are told you're not a specialist. Simply because maybe government felt that if you don't recognize them as specialists, they will not japa. So let me throw a statistic at you. 12 years ago, we had 16,000 resident doctors at the federal level, 7,000 at the state level, maybe around 500 at the private healthcare facility level. Now, today, we have less than 9,000 at the federal level, less than 1,500 at the state level, less than 300, 400 at the private level. So over 50% of resident doctors have left the shores of Nigeria as a result of these kind of things. Let me tell you another statistic. On the average, in a week, I work 120 hours as a resident in internal medicine. A resident in surgery works for longer hours. If you stretch all that out, it means you're on duty continuously for 5 straight days in a week. Go to FTH Lokoja, Department of Orthopedics. You see Dr. Yomi, Dr. Victor Audu, they are on call duty schedule, where Yomi takes 31 days of call in October. Victor Audu takes 22 days of call in October. How is that tenable? There's excess workload, there's burnout, people fall sick from this. A few of our colleagues have died because of this. What are we saying? Limit call duty to just 24 hours.
But you don't
Allow
have
that
the
officer.
manpower. Do you have the manpower? That's
Now,
another thing.
Now, if you go to UK, who are also struggling with manpower, you know, manpower challenge is a global issue. If you go to UK, that your weekly work hour rate is capped at 48 hours. If the government needs you to work beyond that, they either incentivize it or give you leaves commensurate with the extra time you have given. In Nigeria, you are given over 100 hours and nothing is done on it. You fall, you die, another doctor graduates, takes over your space, and you become a statistic that you and I are discussing here. Now, if you look at other issues, for instance, there are allowances and salaries. Now, let's talk about that. Dating back to 5 years, people have been promoted, not paid. There are arrears of salaries dating back to 2 years, 1 year, that have not been cleared. Show me one minister, one permanent secretary, show me one senator or House of Reps member, show me one governor that has a 2 years arrears. We are essential workers. I mean, the business of governance is ensuring Nigerians get the best. The government hasn't shown commitment to take care of the health workforce. I mean, there are laudable projects going on. Hospitals are springing up, free dialysis, free CS, and it is our people, our members that give out these services. But in those new facilities, do you have the facilities? Do you have the manpower? Now, how are you taking care of that manpower? Now, you can take this conversation beyond just doctors. You can take this conversation to nurses, to other healthcare professionals. The problem is the same, it's across board. Now, we suspended a strike 2 weeks before the AGM that brought me in. At that AGM, we said, give 30 more days. Yesterday, in the National Executive Council meeting, the body looked at it, over 200 members, and said, don't start immediately, still extend. Why? Because we're looking at Nigerians. We want Nigerians to come in and talk to government. And I want to use this opportunity to call on the father of the nation, the leader of the country, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. He's the Jagaban of Nigeria. He's the leader of all of this. Cut through the bureaucracy. Politicians won't solve this problem. It is the professionals that will. And be wary of professionals that will come to you in the guise of their professionals while they are politicians. They have ambitions, and that is what is their priority. We are the union leaders. We are on ground. We are the ones that collapse when we are seeing patients. We are the ones that at the end of the month, we can't pay our rent. We are the ones at the end of the month who can't pay our kids' school fees. It's important the leadership of this country has a direct conversation with professional organizations so that we see how these problems can be sorted out.
Is the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, is he speaking to your executive already? I'm talking of Dr. Pate.
I have been in office for 30 days. I have had a sit down with the Honorable Minister of State for Health. I have not sat down with the Honorable Minister, the Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare. I don't know when that will come. I hope very soon we'll have a sit down.
How about his Labour counterpart, the Minister of Labour?
We have not had a sit down. It almost happened, but I think, you know, government is about prioritizing. And I don't think we are there yet. I don't think we are a priority yet, which is why the National Executive Council looked at it and said, there are 19 points on our demands. There are other issues. The government set up a collective bargaining agreement platform. This is where our salary can be robustly discussed. It was supposed to last 1 month. For some reason, it has dragged. This is the second or third month, and there's no date as to when it will resume, when discussions will resume on that. So doctors are looking at 2, 3, 4, 5 years of arrears, are looking at establishment matters, are looking at other policy matters that would improve medical practice. And then the only platform available that government has allowed to happen that will look at these salaries has been stalled.
I heard you backstage saying that there's nothing to write home about the salaries of a resident doctor, you know, just one step to becoming a consultant and the rest. And how poor is the salary of a Nigerian doctor compared to his counterparts, maybe in Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, like you've mentioned? I don't want to call...
No. I read something on one of our platforms earlier before I came to the studio, and one of our colleagues said there are house officers, and this is in Nigeria, there are house officers, people that did house job under him, and he met them. They are working for an international NGO organization that works in one of the northern states in Nigeria, and they employ our doctors to give services. Incidentally, they cap work in a month for doctors they employ. These are international agencies at 208 hours per month. I mean, that is wonderful. I would love to work for only 208 hours. I will be fresh of some relaxation. And he said when they quoted their salary, he is on grade level 15. When they were house officers, they were on grade level 12. As a grade level 15 officer, he said they will pay him twice his salary and they will still have change remaining to survive for a month in Nigeria. I know doctors who have parked their cars, who can't fuel it. I know doctors who can't pay rent. I know doctors who find it difficult to pay for school fees.
Are you one of those Nigerians who will discourage your wards from going to study medicine with the kind of, conditions you're faced with here? The government says it spends a lot, training the average Nigerian doctor. It's subsidized.
You see, we are proud Nigerians. Nigeria trained me to be a doctor, and I will forever give my services to Nigeria. And I know my members are eager to give their services to Nigeria. Of the 11,000 resident doctors that are still back in Nigeria, that are still working in Nigeria, they go through this that I tell you each and every day of their lives, and they will continue to go through giving it. However, this is not sustainable. Nigeria cannot continue to produce doctors and bleed them out elsewhere. Something has to give. Something has to be available. Like I said, show me a government appointee, a director, a permanent secretary that has a 2 years worth of arrears, and we are essential workers. You don't joke with the security arm of this country. You don't joke with teachers. You certainly shouldn't joke with health workers, healthcare workers, especially doctors. And this is why I'm saying, as patriotic as we are, we have to hold our leaders to account. What is the account here? Come to the table for us to have a conversation. If you are running from pillar to post for 30 days, looking for people to come and sit down, and you go back to your neck and say, for 30 days, I have been running around. They didn't come and sit down for us to have a conversation. What do you think the National Executive Council will do? Which is why 1st November 2025, unfortunately, it will be total, it will be comprehensive, it will be indefinite.
What a shame. Well, we just hope the government is listening, like you've given them
It's a national security crisis. It's a national security disaster. And I hope we'll treat it with the national urgency that it deserves.
We'll hope so too. Thank you so very much, Dr. Mohammed Usman Suleiman, President, Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, for coming on Newsnight.